Okay, so we are talking about how to launch your first online course. Here in this particular course, we are going to talk about, let me introduce myself first. I'm Rachel L. Proctor from rachellproctor.com. And if this is your first time joining in on one of my free trainings, I'm a virtual business mentor, a serial entrepreneur, and online educator, a minister, and I'm the self-proclaimed chief encouragement officer over on Instagram. So this particular course is one that is very dear to me because being an online educator, creating courses and teaching and doing trainings online, especially online, is one of my favorite things to do. So I'm excited to be able to teach you all my method and some of the things that you all can do if you have a goal of teaching an online course. Now, if you have a goal of teaching an online course, just drop a 1 in the comment for me so I'll know that I'm talking to the right people. Now, the overview of this course, what we're going to learn today, I'm going to teach you how to choose your course topic, how to select a course name, how to outline your course, even if you have never taught before. And I'm also going to show you how to find your information sweet spot, that I call it, that'll keep your students engaged and wanting more from you. I'm also going to show you how to launch your course from scratch without having to create any new content. And lastly, I'm going to share some tools that I've used to successfully launch multiple courses and more. So why should you have an online course? Now, this is the big question, right? So to me, the best entrepreneurs are actually simply teachers at their core. And when creating an online course, I always recommend teaching something that you already know, teaching a skill that you are good at. And the reason that I want you guys to get into possibly creating your very own online course is because online education is a $1 billion industry. And I said with a billion with a B, okay? B as in boy, because a lot of people are actually moving away from traditional education, and technology really has changed the way that we learn. Technology has changed the way that we communicate and the way that we are able to disseminate information. It's literally changed that forever. And so the opportunities for you to profit from your skill are actually limitless if you can hone in on what makes the knowledge you possess valuable, right? So when you teach a skill via an online course, it opens the door for you to create what is known as information products and online courses, which I'm going to teach you about today. Okay, so information products can be anything from an ebook to a video training series to an audio series. It could be a download, a cheat sheet, PDFs, all sorts of things qualify as digital information. And so we're going to focus on how to create your first online course. So selling access to information, which is what you're doing when you create an online course, you're selling access to information. This keeps your costs low, which is what you want in the beginning, especially if you are a new online entrepreneur. You want to keep your costs very low in the beginning. And so that's because most information products that you're going to create are actually digital. So you don't have the additional cost of having to print or produce physical inventory. And so there are tons of low cost and free tools. And I'm going to share some things with you today that you can actually use to help you create your digital information product offering or help you to create your course. And so I'm going to share a lot of those things with you today. Now, the upside to information products and to courses is that they are highly scalable. So what I mean when I say highly scalable is that unlike physical products, which generally cost you upfront money, it costs upfront costs to produce them, information products and courses can be created quickly to meet the demand, okay? And unlike physical products, if you come across a mistake in your course, it's easier to correct it and put it back out there. And so once a physical product is out there, though, that's it. The mistake, everything is already out there. But digital information products can also be automated, which allows you to create what are called passive streams of income. And you may have heard about that. You may hear people that create passive streams of income, and you always hear people say, well, I'm making money while I sleep. Well, maybe not always, but generally that is how people are able to say I'm making money when I sleep, because they have these automated courses and these digital information products that people are purchasing, you know, literally the world, you know, anywhere in the world at any time of day, people can purchase these particular products. And so again, digital information products and courses that you can put on autopilot, that you can create as a passive stream of income, are what we're going to focus on today. And so if you still have to work a full-time job or you have other responsibilities, automation and passive streams of income that you don't have to monitor 24/7 is what you want to focus on. Those are things that are ideal for you if you want to become an online entrepreneur, or if you are an influencer, or you seek to be an online educator. You're going to have to get a process down for creating your online trainings and your online courses, okay? And so that's what I'm going to teach you today. So if you need to grab something to write with, you're going to want to jot these down. You're going to want to take some good notes on what I'm talking about, because this is the process that I actually use to create a brand new training. These free trainings that I host each week, this is the process that I use to actually create and automate my system for launching these free trainings each and every week. So you're going to want to grab something and write this information down. Now, first we want to talk about how you decide on what you're actually going to teach. Now, we're not going to be necessarily getting into how to choose your audience per se, because that's something that, you know, if you're in the online space already and you're trying to create online courses, you need to already kind of have an idea of who your audience is and who the people are that you're trying to target. But the thing about what I'm going to show you about choosing your first topic is that the process somewhat does overlap with choosing your target audience, simply because of the fact that what you choose to teach is generally going to speak to the needs, and it needs to speak to the needs of the audience that you're already serving, right? Okay, so now every single course and every single free training that I create, I run it through what a term that I have coined as the 3M framework. Now I'm going to share with you guys what the 3M framework is, okay? So the first thing in the 3M framework is that it first has to be meaningful, meaning you have to have a passion and a vested interest in what it is that you are teaching and sharing with other people, okay? So just because you know a lot about a topic though, does not mean that you should be teaching it. So I want to caution you with that. Just because you're passionate and you like to do something doesn't mean that that is the thing that you are supposed to teach. So for example, I know a lot about accounting simply because, you know, in the beginning stages of my business, I taught myself how to do it until I was able to hire out. Now, the only thing is, I hate accounting. That is not my wheelhouse. That is not my lane. That is not the thing that I'm passionate about. And while accounting is necessary for my business to keep my business up and running and in compliance, I'm not passionate about it. So when I talk about the 3M framework, meaning that it has to be meaningful, the accounting is not meaningful to me. It's not something that I'm passionate about. And I will get no joy from trying to teach someone else how to do it. Now, however, teaching others how to teach online is something that I'm very, very passionate about. That's why I've created a system to where I'm launching these free trainings every week, because I love to teach people how to teach things to other people. I know that's crazy, right? But that's why it is meaningful to me. So the first thing in the 3M framework is that it needs to be meaningful to you. It needs to be something that you are passionate about. Secondly, it needs to be memorable. And what do I mean when I say it needs to be memorable? So the second thing in the 3M framework is, this is because it's, yes, you may be passionate about it, but it needs to be something that your audience is equally passionate about. And honestly, the things that we are always passionate about doesn't necessarily mean that our audience is passionate about it, or it's something that they actually need, okay? You don't want to create something and then tell everybody, buy my thing, buy my product, buy this, because I love it. Your audience and the people that have the money to buy it need to love it. So what I always recommend you do is, don't just create a bunch of stuff and try to find the people that want to buy it. Go out, ask your target audience, ask your target market, what is it that they need, and then create what they need, okay? I'm going to say that again. I wish I could say it better. You need to go out and ask your target market, What do they need from you? If you know that there is a particular skill set that you have, those things that you know that you have skills to teach are things that are valuable, ask your target market, what are the most important things that they need, and then create that for them. Don't just create something and try to push it on them. Ask them what they need, then go create it, okay? Lastly, it needs to be monetizable. So when we talk about the 3M framework, it's meaningful, memorable, and lastly, it needs to be monetizable. Now, you could have something that means a lot to you that you're very passionate about, and you could actually have something that your students do need, but it has to be a big enough and an urgent enough problem to your students or the potential students that you have that they're actually willing to part ways with their income in order to get what you have. So this means that it has to demonstrate, or it has to be an urgent need for them, but you also have to demonstrate value to them. You have to demonstrate why what you're teaching is valuable to them. And then it's not just about, again, pushing your product on people. People are doing that all day long online, okay? People are pushing something all the time. So you have to ask yourself, and this is what you need to write down. If you're following this and you're wanting to create an online course, you're wanting to create something to teach your ideal students, those prospects, those people that you want to serve with value, you need to ask yourself, what value will someone receive by purchasing, completing, and applying what I will teach? What value will someone receive by purchasing what I'm offering, by completing that once they purchase it, and then once they complete it, that training, that teaching, by applying it to their life? What value will they receive? And you need to know that. You need to know exactly what they're supposed to get out of what it is you're teaching in order to justify charging somebody, and in order to motivate people enough to actually pull out their wallet and give you their hard-earned money in exchange for the information and the teaching that you're offering, okay? So you can have the first two. It can be meaningful, it can be memorable, but without all three of those things lining up, you're going to be very frustrated in your business. You're going to be very frustrated in your business if it's not meaningful, memorable, and monetizable, because a lot of people are doing things that they are passionate about and they are still broke. They still are not able to make money. They still are not able to convince people to buy what it is that they are selling, because it is not something that is not an urgent need for their target market. So the goal is for all three of those things to intersect with each other in order to find your ideal course topic. So again, it has to be meaningful. You have to be passionate about teaching it. You have to get joy from teaching it. It needs to be memorable. Your audience needs to need it. It needs to meet an urgent need in their life, as well as it has to be monetizable. It has to be something that people will pay you for. So you should be enjoying what you teach. It should be something that meets an urgent need, and it should be something that people are willing to pay you for in order to access that knowledge. So here are some of my tried and true methods in order to come up with a topic for your particular course, okay? So first, you need to start with an end result. So what results do you know without a doubt that you can get for someone else? What is the result that you know without a doubt? And I'm going to challenge your thinking on this, because a lot of times we're thinking it has to be this big, spectacular thing that we have to be able to teach people in order for it to be significant. But I'm going to challenge your thinking on this. Look at what skills you already have. Think about what you currently do for a living. If you're in corporate America, or maybe you're starting a business, or you have some sort of a skill, or maybe you're in school for something. Look at the skills that you have now. What skills have you developed that you can actually package and teach to other people? I want you to even look at the situations that you've gone through in life, things that you have went through. Did you get out of debt? Did you break the cycle of a toxic relationship? Can you teach somebody else how to make jewelry? Can you play an instrument? Can you teach others to do the same thing, right? What skill or talent comes natural for you that you could teach someone else? You need to think about what things in your life have made you, okay? Even the negative things. So pain in our life actually has a way of making us pay attention and notice something on a deeper level is wrong. And so the pain in our life often will drive us to make life-changing habits. And so what lessons have you learned from pain that have driven you to make life-changing and lasting habits that you could share with someone else that may be going through the same thing that you went through? I always say that the people that we are called to serve and the people that we are called to add value to in our businesses are usually previous versions of ourselves. So think about who you used to be before you went through that thing that changed your life. And now think about how you can use that and looking for the system in what you went through and the steps that you went through that caused your transformation. Look at what you can take from that to be able to help somebody else that's now in the position that you were once in, okay? When you start teaching people skills and when you start teaching people the things that you know, you are now in what I call the wisdom business. Now, it's going to take some time for you to work through that, and we don't have time to just stop here and kind of give you a moment to brainstorm. So I want you to write that down. Think about what skills you have that you know without a doubt you could get somebody else the same results. Now, I also want you to pay attention to what people are always asking you about. Pay attention to the things that people are always asking you about in terms of things that you do well. Do you meal prep? And are people always asking you about your meal prep process and how you come up with your weekly recipes? Do you have a well-trained dog? And, people are always asking you about how you get your dog to, sit and behave in public. Like, do you have above average closet organizational skills? And maybe you can teach other people how to keep their wardrobe organized seasonally. Like, literally, I want to challenge you about the way that you're thinking about this. There are some skills, and I mean, really think about this, because what happens sometimes to the skills that set us apart, and the real skills that can actually set us apart in the marketplace, is that they often feel normal. And so we tend to discount the fact that everybody doesn't already know this stuff because it feels normal to us. Okay, so we discount that, but it's these skills that actually have the power to evoke lasting change in the lives of the people that you want to teach. Okay, so another way to look at this, and I want you guys to write this down, and I'm going to repeat it a couple of times. Think about the ways that you can do one of these things for your students, okay? Think about this. Think about how you can save them time. Think about how you can make them money. Think about how you can save them money. Think about how you can give them a shortcut to a process that they regularly do. Or think about something that you could teach them that solves a recurring problem that they're having. Or think about something that you could teach them that removes or alleviates a pain point, or meets a hidden desire that they have. Or lastly, and probably most importantly, think about something that you could teach them that can add peace of mind to their lives. I'm going to say that again real quickly. I'm going to go through it again. Save them. Think about what you can do that saves them time. Think about what you can do that makes them money or saves them money, gives them a shortcut to a process that they regularly do. Or think about what you could teach them that solves a recurring problem that they have, or one that removes or alleviates a pain point, or one that meets a hidden desire that they have, or one that adds peace of mind to their lives. Okay, so a way to add peace of mind to their lives, I want you to look at it like this. Now, if you're a financial planner and you are selling basically life insurance, or you're selling retirement policies, or you're selling just basic financial information that could help them to make better financial decisions concerning their finances long term, you're adding peace of mind to their lives, because what you sell helps them relax when they know that if something actually happens to them, their family's going to be taken care of. That's how you sell something that adds peace of mind to their life. If you are a hairstylist, you don't just sell and install hair extensions. sometimes you're helping to restore your client's confidence and restore their boldness, because when they lost their hair, they lost their confidence. Okay. Now they can step into arenas and pursue opportunities that they once lacked the confidence to step into. And so a way to save them money is to teach them your couponing process and how you scout out sales each and every week. You can help them make money by teaching them how to set up and optimize their Etsy shop online. Okay, so I want you to look at what you do in this manner. Okay, I want you to look at it like that. So I want you to take a moment, pull out a sheet of paper when you have time, go back, write this down that you need to do this. List all of the skills that you know without a doubt that you could teach somebody else. Now, I want you guys to listen. Only teach the things that you would not have to first take a course yourself to teach somebody. Okay, so the goal is not to just regurgitate a bunch of information online to people. You want this to be a skill that you know that you are confident in delivering to somebody else in this very moment. Okay, what could you talk about for hours on end? If you could write a book about a topic, what would that be about? Okay, so another important thing to keep in mind when writing out your skills is that you need to have gained success for yourself in this area as well. Okay, so this is not to say that you won't need to nurture the skill in the future in order to get better at it, but chances are you can help somebody get a specific result with the skill level you're at right now. It's all about recognizing what you have to offer them, okay? And so when you have personal success using the system that you want to teach others, and that you can prove that you have success in this, that you have receipts, as they say, it helps you come across as authentic and it gives you credibility, okay? So you have to have proven that the system works. You can't, again, this is not just about hopping online and Googling and seeing what somebody else did and how somebody else got through something and then thinking that you're just going to teach it to somebody else. That's not credible, and that's not really operating in integrity, number one. So you want to make sure that you have gotten success in this particular area, okay? And so now, out of all of the things that you have listed, you need to circle the number one skill that you would be most passionate about teaching. Okay, so this is going to be the skill you will use to build on to create your very first course. Okay, so now out of all the things that you have listed, you're going to circle the thing that you would be most passionate about teaching, okay? And this is going to be the skill that you will use to build on to create your very first course, okay? And so now, as you're writing out your list of skills, and as you're writing out all of these things, okay, a few things may come up for you, okay? You may be worried because you're thinking that, okay, some of the skills on your list are things that people teach already. Now, here's the truth. You are going to have people who teach what you teach all day long, but nobody has your story, okay? Nobody went on the journey that you went on to gain competency in that skill. Your story is what's going to set you apart. So, and also don't worry if you don't have a super long list here, because that's not the point to make the longest list. Even if you have just one skill that you feel confident in, chances are there is a student out there in search of what it is that you teach. Okay, so actually, if you have one skill that you're really good at, that may actually make this that much easier for you, because you won't have to combat with all of the competing ideas around what course you're going to actually create first. Now, I also want you to resist the urge to go broad here, because the riches are in the niches. And so there are people that literally teach on everything, okay, that literally teach on everything. So keeping this skill specific also helps you to better serve your ideal student. Now, when you decide on what skills you're going to teach on, then you're going to break it out. We're going to do a process of where once we have that overall skill, you're going to break out all of the topics that you can actually teach on this particular skill. Now, I'm going to use a photography example that I always use in this particular way, but then I'm going to also show you how to hop online to be able to look up your competitor and spy on your competitors, so to speak, to be able to get some of the topics that your ideal audience is searching for. Because what you want to actually do is, again, you don't want to just create a bunch of stuff in your own head and say, this is what people care about. You want to actually look at what are they actively already searching for information on? What is my ideal audience already searching for that I could help to teach them? I'm going to use this photography example to kind of make this point a little bit clearer in terms of what you need to do once we get off this training today, what you need to actually do in order to be able to look at, in order to be able to look at what you can actually do in terms of your overall skill, but then breaking that up into topics that you can actually create individual courses on. I'm going to say if my skill is photography, then that's just the skill of photography alone is very broad, right? So that could literally go in hundreds of different directions as far as what you could teach on photography. So there are all sorts of photography that you can specialize in. So you want to break that out into topics so that you get more specific. As a photographer, do you love to shoot weddings? Or maybe you like to shoot conferences or large events, or maybe you like to shoot nature or engagement photos or models, children's concerts. Maybe you even specialize in using a special type of camera lens that you could help to develop teachings on in regards to things that you are actually good at. Okay, that's the level of specificity I'm looking for here. So to take it further, let's say one of your topics is wedding photography. So you could create a beginner's guide to shooting outdoor weddings, okay? This could also lead you into courses on how to get the perfect outdoor lighting and shots during the ceremony, okay? All the way to teaching them how to generate leads for their photography business. You could also teach them how to create an online portfolio or how to organize their photography booking system, okay? Again, you can literally teach on anything and make multiple products around the knowledge you have about wedding photography, okay? So once you have broken down your skill into topics, keep your list of topics where you can access it, later for now, but you should have your overall skill determined and you should have selected the topic that you're going to create your first online course around. So again, once you have your overall skill that you can teach, which in this case, we talked about photography, then you're going to break that down even more specifically about what aspects of photography that you could actually teach about. Now, I would say start with the topic that you could create a foundational course on, especially if other future courses build on that one. So what I mean by that is if there is a sequential order to the bigger picture of what you teach, then start with what they absolutely need to know first. So now that you have a topic and you've broken that bigger skill down into those topics, here's where you're going to map out the path to transformation for your student. Okay, keeping the topic in your head, ask yourself, again, what is the specific result that you're going to help your student gain or that you're going to help your student obtain, okay? What is the real result that you can help them get? Now, this is where I get into a lot of things, especially with those people that want to become life coaches. And sometimes we can be very hard on life coaches because it's kind of just this general idea of, oh, I want to be able to help people move into purpose and I want to help inspire people to walk out their purpose. Well, what does that actually mean? Like, what does that actually look like? Does that mean their purpose in business? Does that mean their purpose in corporate America? Does that mean their purpose spiritually? Does that mean their fitness, like fitness goals? Like, what does that actually mean when you say, I want to help somebody walk in their purpose? So this is where we get very specific, and I'm very hard on you guys about this because you need to give people a real result, a tangible result, okay? So you need to be for real about what is it that you can actually help people do. And walk in their purpose is not a thing that you can help somebody do. That's not a thing that you can help somebody do. I always tell people, when I asked you what result you can help somebody get, you cannot use the word purpose. You can't even use the word purpose when you talk to me about what result you can help somebody get, okay? We want to know what is the real result that you can actually help somebody to get. And then you want to start at the end, start at that result, and work backwards to map out your path to transformation. List all of the steps that it takes to actually get them there. And again, resist the urge to go very broad here in terms of what it takes to get them there. But if you start listing out the steps and then you have more than 5 to 10 steps and it's taking this long way to get them to this one result, then what that means is you need to be more specific about what results that you can help them get. It may be that you need to break it down a little bit more in terms of what you can actually help somebody to actually do. Because the thing about it is that you can always create more courses. You can always create another course, another digital information product. Resist the urge to try to cram everything you know into this one course, okay? Because here's the thing, and I'm going to share with you some things later on. I don't want to get ahead of myself. But you do not need to try to cram everything into one course. So if it's taking you this long way to get them a result, then you may need to break it down a little bit more, okay? You can even use a lot of what you're talking about. If you have to shave off some, create free content to actually pique the interest of your your ideal student. Use some of that to create the free content that's going to draw them into your actual paid course. And when you do this, when you give them free content on the front end, it also helps to increase your credibility and position you as the go-to person in your area of expertise. If you're still at the point to where you are struggling, I want to show you a way that you can research to find out some of the topics your ideal students are actually already searching for. Remember, I said you need to be teaching them something or looking to give them some information and some value in areas that they are already actively trying to find information on how to solve. Okay, you don't want to just, again, come up with what's important to you. What are they already trying to solve, and how can you get in where you fit in and try to teach them something in an area they're already looking to, okay? So the thing about it is you have to go out to where your audience is already at, okay? And where they're already searching for information. And so a lot of people knock social media. You probably don't knock it too much if you found this class, because this class is how I advertise it on social media. But there are a lot of people that have hangups about social media. But again, social media is where the people are, okay? That's where the people are. People are on their phones, people are on Instagram, people are on YouTube all day long. So some of the main spots for this social media and more, are social media, and specifically Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube is where I want you guys to do. So again, that's Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, because you have a lot of engagement and you have a lot of people that are communicating and engaging with influencers and experts on a number of topics. You're going to also look at who your competitors are. I want you guys, for the sake of this example, look at your big competitors, people that have large audiences. And when I say competitors, I mean people that are teaching things similar to what it is that you want to teach your students. Who are those people in your industry, in your lane, that are teaching the things that you want to teach in? Because sometimes what happens is, when you go to their comments, or if they have a post that is about a particular thing that you want to teach on, a lot of times, because their accounts have gotten so big that they're not able to really answer all the questions. And so people will be putting questions and comments that speak to a lot of the issues that they're still struggling with around those topics. So in YouTube, I'm going to take you guys to YouTube real quick. Once you have identified your niche, you guys need to go out there to the social media, find those accounts. Again, when I say big competitors, I mean people that have accounts up around the 100,000 follower range or more. Again, look at their engagement. Look at how people are commenting on their posts, not liking their posts. That is not what I need. I want you to look at the comments. What are people actually saying? Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube are generally the best places to look for this type of engagement and this type of commentary, because that's where people are, that's where people are doing it at. Now go look, when you get to those competitors pages, make your list of competitors, and then you need to look for posts on their page that deal with topics that you want to teach your target market, okay? Now you're going to actually go out and look at where they are and look at where they are, you know, the things they're constantly asking in the comments, and you are going to look for trends. Okay, I'm going to take you guys to YouTube real quick. Okay, so let's look at how, if you want to teach somebody how to lose weight. So see how everything is already coming up here, how to lose. So this is giving us an indication on what people are actively searching for. So how to lose weight fast, how to lose belly fat, how to lose weight, how to lose weight fast for teenagers, how to lose face fat. Oh my gosh. How to lose belly fat fast, how to lose arm fat, how to lose a guy in 10 days. Well, so see, these are search predictions, okay? So is everybody getting this? These are search predictions. So how to lose weight in a week. So I'm going to do how to start. I tried this last night, how to start an online business, how to start a YouTube channel, how to start a business, how to start dreads, how to start a podcast. So how to start an online. Okay, so now here is we put more in there, how to start an online business, how to start an online boutique, how to start an online store, how to start, let's try this one, how to start a photography business, how to start a photography Instagram, a photo booth. So again, this gives you an idea because it's automatically populating. It's giving people, it's automatically populating predictions based on what people are actively searching about. Here is, like I talked about in our photography example, how to start a photography. Let's try this one, how to start a wedding photography business. So again, here it showed up in here that this is something that people are actively searching about. So that could serve as our main thing, right? So look at here, look at how, like, some of the top videos, right? These are some of the top videos that people are searching for. Let's see, the most relevant view counts. Let's look at view counts. So top 10 wedding film making tips. Okay, wedding photography, make money with photography, how to start a photography business, how to make $100,000 a year as a wedding photography, creative names to kickstart your wedding photography business. Okay, recommended wedding photography camera and lens gear. See, this is showing us what the most popular things people are searching for. Okay, how to start a photography business, how to operate, social media photographers. Okay, how to set up your wedding photography business, how to start your own photography business. Okay, so basically a lot of people are searching for how to get into wedding photography workflow. So tips for starting your wedding photography business. Okay, so these are a lot of things that people are searching for. We're going to be filtering. Let's try another filter. Let's see what ratings gives us. How to improve. So how growing a wedding photography business. These are all rated high. Let's see. Let's see what relevance gives us. Okay, so again, these are a lot of the relevant things. Okay, so now you're seeing what people are searching for. And so these are ways, again, to look at what they're actively searching for. Okay, what are people actively searching for in your niche? Okay, and so once you have your niche, you're going to go out there again to social media, look at these accounts. Let's see, let's look at, and I used this example the other week on my other training. Let's see if I can still, yeah, let's go to Cece's page. So Cece is the six-figure chick. She is in my industry. She is a beast at what she teaches. Here, I used it at one of her posts about hashtags to show you, find the post, to show you, to give you an example. Here it is. I think this is the post. So this particular post has over 1,100 likes, but it has a lot of comments in regards to hashtags. So this post is about hashtags, okay, everybody? So you're going to look in the comments. This is what I want you guys to do. Look at YouTube to see what people are searching for. Also look at, like I said, look at your competitors here on Instagram. She has a lot of engagement on her posts, lots of questions. She's an online educator. She teaches about digital marketing specifically for Instagram. This person is saying, I use hashtags, but I guess I need to look for different ones for every post. Hashtags are the majority of, well, this doesn't look like a question. Let's see. Hashtags. So this person is talking about how finding them narrow enough is not easy. She's struggling with hashtags. I need help. Let's see. Do you have any advice on destination wedding hashtags? This is interesting. I thought the more posts a hashtag has, the better. Learn something new every day. I've been struggling with this. I noticed that I keep getting followers that are marriage coaches. So apparently that may be the wrong type of followers. How do you know if your hashtags are a hit or if they're a flop? People are asking questions about hashtags. So this may be, if this is your lane and if this is what you teach on, then this may be an indication. This may be an indication that you need to teach more about hashtags. Create a course, an online course about hashtags, okay? So this is a way that you can actually get ideas about what people are already searching for, what questions they already have, the questions that are going on in their heads already, that you can go out there. Remember, I said in the very beginning, it's not about just creating something and trying to find people. It's about going out there, finding out what they need, and then you go back and create what they actually are saying that they need, okay? The goal for your particular course in this, since this is your first course, the goal should be that your student can take this course in one day. But the goal is for them to be able to take this particular course in one day. Now, I recommend that you outline your course before you give your course a name, and I'm going to show you why in a moment, okay? I recommend that you give your course outline it first. And so I'm going to show you, when you start the outline process, you want to paint a very specific picture of the end result for your student. I recommend that you use the SMART goals formula with this. This is the SMART goals formula that I use in order to name my course and to outline my course, to keep my course on track so that I'm not all over the place. Remember, you need one result. We're not trying to give them a whole life plan in one course that, will take them from the Rudy to the Tootie. That's not the goal, okay? Your goal is to teach them get them one result, a quick result, preferably something that they can actually sit and take in one day. And I'm going to tell you more about why I recommend that, okay? So using the SMART goals formula, this is also going to help you name your course. So SMART goals stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. And you guys can look up more. The SMART goals formula is an age-old formula for goal setting. So I won't go just too deep into SMART goals, but keep that in mind. It stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to do a brain dump on what you're going to be teaching your students. That means you're going to take a piece of paper out or a notepad. More than likely, you're going to need a notepad if you're really doing a serious brain dump. Get everything about that gets you to that result onto paper, okay? Now, this needs to be based on your experiences and your background. You need to write out everything it took for you to get that specific end result. Do not go into a bunch of research here. Again, remember what I told you guys. This is not for you to go out online and Google how to do something and then just regurgitate information to people. No bueno, no bueno, okay? Stay in your lane. What was the process that you took? Now, here's the thing. When you look at your process, you may be thinking, well, Rachel, I messed up a lot along the way. Well, that's actually a good thing, because what happens is even your mess ups can be a point in your process that you teach where you show them things to actually avoid while they're on the way to that specific result. I always say that you need to seek, when you are seeking to be a teacher and an online educator, you need to seek to be a tour guide, not a travel agent. What is a tour guide and what is a travel agent? A travel agent is somebody that sends people places that they have never been, and they don't go with them. Had your travel agent ever went on the trip with you? No. Your travel agent does not go on the trip with you. Your travel agent sends you places, oftentimes places that they themselves have never been. You do not want to be an online educator that is a travel agent. You want to be an online educator that is a tour guide. And what is a tour guide? A tour guide is somebody that has been to the destination that they are sending other people time and time again. And not only do they send people to that destination, but they are there in that destination with them, hand in hand, showing them the lay of the land, showing them the places to avoid, because they've been there time and time again. So they know that route like the back of their hand. You want to be a tour guide. You want to be the online teacher that is in there in the trenches, being honest about your experiences and being open about your experiences so that people can learn from you. Sometimes the best thing you can teach people is what not to do. Sometimes that is the best thing that you can teach people, is what not to do, okay? Don't disqualify yourself because you may have messed up along the way, because that's what people will value. They don't want to try to learn from somebody that tries to be perfect and say they've never messed up. Your story is what sets you apart. Even when we talk about, like I mentioned earlier, yes, there are other people that are business coaches. Yes, there are other people out there that are fitness trainers and photographers and that teach on a myriad of things, but nobody has your story. Nobody took the journey that you took in order to get to where it is that you are at now. When you're teaching, you want to create your courses. Every single course you create, you want to create it on your experiences first. And then when your students start going through that particular course and that particular process that you're teaching, then you want to incorporate your students' experiences with what you're teaching. You want to start incorporating and using their experiences, whether that's in the form of testimonials or case studies or whatever it is that you have. You want to start incorporating that as well. And so when you start trying to research a bunch of stuff, you start getting off track. And then also what happens is you start incorporating a bunch of unnecessary details that can ultimately end up confusing your students. And I don't know if anybody has ever done that, but like I've been through stuff and I'm sitting there and I'm at seminars or workshops and I'm like, what are they talking about? What does this have to do with, me learning about, XYZ, the thing that I signed up for? Okay. So you want to make sure that when you say that you can get somebody a result, you stay on topic throughout that course. And so that's why when you're doing your brain dump, you only want to use your experiences. What were your real experiences to get you to that result? And that's what you need to be teaching other people, okay? So keep it simple. The other main reason that I want you guys to keep it simple is because the simpler you keep the course, the faster you can actually get them a result, okay? And when your students start getting fast results using your products and using your courses and your methods and the things that you teach, they start looking to you now as the problem solver. As a problem solver in their life. And as an entrepreneur, that's what you're supposed to be. Remember, I told you those things earlier. You need to either bring them peace of mind. You need to save them money, help them make money, save them time, solve a recurring problem, give them shortcuts. Whatever that is for you, you need to make sure that you keep it simple, keep it concise, keep it straight to the point. How can you get them to that result fast? That may mean that you have to cut down some of the stuff that you're teaching about, like it within that thing. Like if it's taking you too long to get them to that result, then that may mean that there may be more than one result embedded within that, and you need to break that out and then use one result for one course and then use it, make another course with that next result, giving them absolutely what they need to know first, and then everything else can build on that. So I hope that this is making sense. Also, again, the goal is ultimately to get them a quick result, because here's the thing with this too. If it takes them too long to get to a result, what they're going to do is they're going to lose interest and they're going to lose confidence that you can get them a solution to the issue that they are facing. Also, it also helps lock them in as a student, and it increases your longevity as an online educator, because chances are if they didn't get results with your first course the first time, they're not going to buy anything else from you again. They're not going to buy anything else from you again. I know I wouldn't. If I didn't get results from it, if I actually tried to implement it and tried to go through it and tried to apply it, because that's the thing, you have to actually try to implement it. But if I did that and I didn't get any results, I'm probably not going to come back to you to get any more of your trainings or any more of your teachings. So when you keep your course simple, it's going to keep your costs low for your student also, and they can try out your process without a major initial investment. Also, like I said, it keeps the entry point low for them. So you're not having to charge, $300, $400, $500, $700, $2,000 for them to just try you out, especially if you're new on the scene. Also, I always say, pick one thing, pick one result, dominate with getting people major results and massive results with that one thing, and then start moving on and branching on and adding on to that. But you got to get your footing in one result first, because here's the thing, a lot of us try to start at the place that we're supposed to finish at, and that's what gets us off task, and the reason that why we're really never able to dominate in any one thing, because when you aim at everything, you hit nothing. So find the one result that you know without a doubt that you can get for somebody, dominate in that, get them results with that, and then start moving on to other things. You need to really figure out what you want to be known for in the beginning. And so now back to that SMART goals formula I mentioned. Okay, and so this is how you're going to actually, the SMART goals formula is actually how you're going to measure your result. It's actually how you're going to actually measure whether or not you're getting a result for the people, for your students. Okay, I'm going to take you guys to my online school so everybody can see that. So this is my online school here in Teachable. Teachable is an incredible resource. Teachable is an incredible resource. They also have several others. Thinkific, also Kajabi is a great one. I like Teachable. Number one, the price is really good. If you're just getting started, I want to say a Teachable rent starts at about $35 a month. Then it goes up to a couple $100s a month, just depending on what all you need. But you can get, several courses here. So I'm going to show you guys my particular courses. When we talk about the SMART goals formula, it's going to talk to how you name your course. When we talk about the SMART goals formula, it helps you create a promise for your students. And when you have a particular goal and a particular result, that's how you judge whether or not you met that promise for your students. Okay, that's how you gauge whether or not you met that particular promise. Okay, so that's why I don't recommend you get super clever with titles and names. But if you feel like you just have to be clever and you have to be cute with a name, please keep your subtitle straight to the point. Keep your subtitle straight to the point. This is my How to Launch Your First Online Course. That's there too. That's what we're doing right now. That's actually the replay. Let's see. Here's a better example. The simple 7-day sales funnel formula. Okay. Now my subtitle is right here. I highlighted that for you. How to set up your sales funnel in 7 days. Pretty straight to the point. What am I going to be teaching specifically? How to set up your sales funnel. How long will it take them to do it? 7 days. This is the thing. When you give them a good expectation, and even when, like I said, when you're writing out your bullet points, and I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but again, when you're outlining and when you're writing out these things according to the SMART goals formula, keeping it specific, giving them a time as far as when they can expect to have achieved that result, like what does that look like? You need to keep it very, very simple. Okay, so it's the same process that I use for writing and creating blog posts. You give them a beginning, you give them 3 to 5 points in the middle, and you give them an ending. Okay, so this is what's going to help you break everything out into bullet points so that people have an idea, of the undertaking that they have if they choose to take your course. So look at this. The beginning. what is a sales funnel, or what a sales funnel is, and why your online business must have one in order to make consistent daily sales. This is the beginning. Okay, if I'm going to teach them how to create a sales funnel, chances are they may not be familiar with what a sales funnel is. So the very thing in the beginning is that I teach them what one is and why it's important that their business have a sales funnel. Because number one, I gave them a hint, in order you need it to make consistent daily sales. Here's this middle point, okay? Here's this middle part. The step-by-step method to logically plan out your funnel in order to eliminate competition and position you as the trusted brand in your prospect's mind. And another middle piece, how to put your sales funnel on autopilot so you make money while you sleep. And then lastly, certainly not least, the exact tools that you need to use to set your sales funnel up in 7 days or less, even if you don't have a website yet, and more. Okay. Now, also, I give them some prerequisites here. Okay, so you will need to already have determined your product or service and who your product or service is for before you create your sales funnel. So that lets them know that if they are not, if they haven't done this already, then this is going to be kind of a little ahead for them, because they need to first go to one of my courses that teach how to do this first, how to determine your product or service before they start trying to create a sales funnel. So again, it sets an expectation for the student on what they need to know. Remember, I told you need to create your courses according to absolutely what they're going to need to know first. Okay, so this sales funnel, although it's a great example of what I mean when I talk about incorporating the SMART goals so that you can determine your results and give them and measure your results, it's not the best place for them to start if they haven't already figured out who their audience is and what they're actually selling. So they need to start somewhere else, okay? You can kind of look at some of my other courses here with Side Business Made Simple. These are going to talk about, how to name your business, nailing down your actual business idea, ways to promote your business. These are more robust in terms of in the beginning. Also, my 30-day business school, which I don't offer anymore outright. I don't offer it anymore, but this was actually a course that I offered, again, that, talked about a lot about, and this was some of the curriculum: finding your business must have, creating the workspace, naming your business, creating your product idea, refining your business idea, protecting, creating your business plan. So all of these things were in here. So some of these courses may be better to start with, but you need to have your courses and outline your courses. Use that SMART goal to actually be able to get a measurable result for every single course that you do. So now when we talk about creating an outline, so a moment ago, I talked to you about brain dumping, right? So now you're going to lay all of those steps that you dumped out, you're going to lay them out into logical order. And so the best way that I recommend you do this is, once you have brain dumped, once you have wrote out all of this logical steps, all of the steps that it took to get you to that result, I recommend, and this is just one way that I recommend that I will do it, especially if I'm trying to map out a brand new course that I, have never really taught before, but I want to teach on that particular thing. Now, the best way that I recommend that you do it is what I call kind of the whiteboard method. Take a pack of Post-it notes. So just like, simple Post-it notes, these are a little bit small. I don't know if you can see these or not. You can take a pack of Post-it notes and let me see if I can. Give me 1 second, y'all. Okay, so here we go. Take a pack of Post-it notes like these, probably a little bit bigger than this, but take a pack of Post-it notes. Then you're going to write out all of those steps, each and every individual step that you wrote out in your brain dump. You're going to take them and write them out on a Post-it note. The reason being that you're going to break them. Remember, I talked about your 3 to 5 points in the middle of that particular thing. You're going to break them out, and then you're going to take those things. I always say, like if you have a whiteboard, or if you don't have access to a whiteboard, you can just take a poster board, go buy you a big white poster board, then write that beginning, then the 3 to 5 pieces in the middle, and then your ending. What you can do is you can say beginning, and then that 3 to 5, it could be module 1, module 2, module 3, module 4, module 5, and then your ending. Okay. And so then you're going to take each of those post-it notes, and you may have upwards of, 50 to 60 post-it notes, maybe even more, just depending on how detailed you broke those steps out. You could actually have a lot of post-it notes at this point, and that's fine. That's great. That's why we're going to do it this way, so that you can actually see all of the steps. Then you're going to take each of those post-it notes and you're going to put them in logical order underneath which one they fit under. So if those beginning steps are like I said, if you're laying foundation, like having to actually teach somebody about why they have this issue or something to that degree, then you're going to put all of those things under your beginning, or why what you're teaching is important. If that's a part of what you're teaching, then you're going to put that under your beginning. Then you're going to start breaking out those steps and putting them under bigger, like the modules, module 1, module 2, module 3, in logical order. And then the wrap up or the overview, to make sure that they have recapped it and that they understand it and that they have that final result, you're going to put that in your ending module. Okay. And then, so what you want to do is, even when you get them into those individual modules, the beginning, then the 1 through 5, and then the ending, if need be, then you want to even break those out into smaller thoughts, if there's still some phases within there. And you'll be able to kind of judge, once you start doing it more, if you need to make them more concise within each of those modules. And this is why I say that you do that. Not everybody is going to always need every single step that you teach in that particular course. So if you have a good course, then your student is going to refer back to it more than one time. If they're going to go back and revisit it. But what may happen in the courses of them revisiting that is that they don't always need every single step. They may just have to revisit something to get refreshed on that particular concept. And so you don't want them to have to go back through a whole, hour-long video searching for what you said about, this one thing. So you want to break it up, and I'm going to show you how to break it up into into the different teaching portions, whether that's audio or video for your student, so that they don't have to go back through huge modules searching for things. Okay. It also makes your course more easily digestible for them when they're doing it that way. Now, when you get to the point to where you're getting ready to film and videotape, so some quick things that you can use, and I'm going to give you these so that it'll make more sense in regards to your script. Some things that you can use to videotape. A good tool that I use to actually create videos with slides is called Loom, Loom. So it's not the same thing as what we're on, which is Zoom, Zoom. It's called Loom. It's actually great for screen sharing and for sharing your slides. And I always quickly create my slides in Canva, and I'm going to show you what those look like in a moment. But once you get whether or not you're going to audio or video your particular course, then you're going to create a script. Now, you want to create a script because that's going to actually keep you on task. So even as I'm teaching you right now, I'm not teaching you off the top of my head. I'm reading from a script, okay? I usually print my script out so that I'll just have it here on paper instead of trying to read the iPad, because sometimes the battery dies on iPads and they can be hard to keep up with, and they can also be hard to just track in regards to creating your slides. And I'm going to tell you about that in a moment as well. In order to create your script, once you have broken out all of your pieces, remember I talked about the whiteboard or the poster board, you're going to be putting all those post-it notes, ideas into the logical order and sequences and breaking those out into individual modules. Then you're going to create a script in order to take your students through those particular modules at this point, through those particular things. You're going to create a script. The easiest way to do this is to do a voice recording. There is a free tool that I use also called otter.ai, and this is for voice recording, okay? And so it is a free tool that you can use. It's a Google Chrome extension. Also, you can just simply use the voice recorder on your phone to do this, and then you can have somebody transcribe it for you. Fiverr.com is great for that. I think it's Fiverr. I think it's Fiverr. So Fiverr.com, you can have somebody to transcribe those voice recordings, or you can use otter.com, otter.ai, and that's free. So you're going to record yourself reading those steps and going through them sequentially as they're laid out on your whiteboard and your post-it notes. You're going to read. Again, you need a script. Do not try to wing it here, because it's going to help you stay on topic And again, if you have to ever go back and re-edit your course or change something within your course, it's going to be easy to go back and update a script versus having to just think about it all in your head again, as far as what you said and how you said it. So you need to do that. You won't have to recreate it all over again. Once you have that script and you take that transcription back, you're going to now, I usually always say print it out. Once you have everything outlined, you have a script, you voice record it. Now you have somebody to transcribe it for you, your script that you're going to go to according to that. Print it out for yourself. And then you're going to go and make your slides. That's what we're using here today in my course. And I'm going to show you guys how to use or how to create slides, and really not just how to create, but some ideas and thoughts that you can do here. So can everybody see? Everybody should be able to see this particular screen. So as you can see here, I have slides for everything. So I'm always teaching stuff for my mastermind. I have slides literally for everything. So this is how you're going to, like, this is showing you what slides are in here. As you can see, my slides are very, very simple. You do not want to overcomplicate your slides. You do not want to overcomplicate your slides. You want your slides to just be the very basic overview, because again, you don't want to get into boxing yourself in, because sometimes you do freestyle a little bit off script, depending on what the point, what point you're trying to make. You may freestyle, so you don't want to box yourself in with these slides that are so detailed, because again, I know for me, whenever I see PowerPoints and stuff like that, and I go to things that people have like 1,000 words on one slide, it's just overwhelming. I lose interest. I don't want to see it. I don't want to watch it anymore. Okay. So keep your slides very, very simple. Okay. And so I have a template that I use for all my slides. So as you can see, my slides look the same. Go into here. This is one of my slides, like I said, for my mastermind. This was for that particular thing. But again, I have my slides. I have the overview. And then, even going to the end, questions, So I keep my slides pretty simple. And like I said, I have a set beginning, which is my introduction, telling you the overview of what you're going to learn. And then at the end, I always have questions. So I have those in the middle. Canva is great. This is Canva that I use here. Canva has a free tool. Also, Keynote is good for making slides. And then also, let me show you guys Loom. Loom is also great for, like I said, great for recording screen shares. And so this is loom.com. And also, if you want a way to host your particular courses, again, I recommend Teachable. Teachable is great for that. You can even deliver, if you want to use something a little bit more simple to start with. You could even try out Gumroad. I use Gumroad. Let me see if I can. Nah, I can't log into mine, but I used to use Gumroad rather for selling things. And so, you can actually just start creating videos, and it will host the videos for you. This is actually in Gumroad, where you can buy my book here. Really, Gumroad is really, really, really easy to use as well. And so you can actually do the same thing. This is actually buying a physical copy of my book, but you can actually do this the same way for like courses, audios, stuff like that. You can use Gumroad for that. It's just that easy. So you can upload your videos, upload your audios there. Again, when I get everything done, I print out my script. I'm getting ready to create my videos or my audios, then mark my transition points on my script. So I'm going to show you guys again what that looks like. Hold on. I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. So here on my script, I actually have written out where my transition points are. And when I say transition points, I'm talking about where I advance my slide. So if I have a slide talking about this stuff here, then once I get through talking about this, then this cues to tell me to advance my particular slide. That's pretty much it in terms of how I do everything in creating your first course. But I want to show you guys kind of my quick process. And if creating online courses is something that you want to do and you want to do it on an ongoing basis, then you have to have a process, okay? You have to have a process. And so I'm going to show you pretty much what I do each week. It's the same thing each week. I don't deviate a whole lot. I'm going to show you my process system in Trello. I'm not going to go deep into a lot of the actual software that I use because I don't want to overwhelm you. But this is pretty much how I do it. And it's not a difficult process. It's just about having yourself organized, having yourself organized in that regard. Let's see. So I use a system called Trello. So here is my, these are different systems. So marketing a flash sale or quick quiz response follow-up. These are all things that I use. Okay. But specifically for this one, this is my weekly masterclass launch system. Okay, so this is the system that I use to do it. As you can see here, I have things that are in these brackets, and these brackets tell me either who's going to do it or the software or the system that I need to do it in. Okay, so these are going to tell me who needs to do it, or again, the software or the system. So as you can see here, I literally broke out every single thing that I have to do that has to happen from start to finish in order to launch a weekly masterclass, plus launch the sale of the replay until I close the cart on that replay sale. Okay, so this is the beginning. Rachel, this is in brackets. That means that I have to do this. I have to determine the topic for the class. Then I have to write out the bullet points for what we will learn in that class. Then in Canva, I'm going to create the graphic using the template in canva.com. Also, next, I'm going to go into ConvertKit, which is my email marketing system. I'm going to go into ConvertKit and I'm going to create a tag that says registered. It's a tag that says registered within ConvertKit. I'm going to tell you why in a minute. Then also, while I'm still in ConvertKit, I'm going to duplicate the landing page for the sign up. So when I say duplicate the landing page, I mean, I don't recreate a new landing page from scratch. I just duplicate the one that I used for the last one, and then I tweak it to that particular class. So we change everything that needs to be changed on the inside of there, and we tweak it, we update it, with the name of the class, the title, the bullet points, going to the email sequence, all of that. And in ConvertKit, I also, while I'm still in ConvertKit, I edit the duplicated landing page and replace it with the, replace it with the bullet points for the new class. So again, that's what I just said. I'm updating the bullet points. Then in Squarespace, which is my website, I create a landing page to my Squarespace that goes to my Instagram link page. So that Instagram link page that I showed you all, I'm creating a Squarespace landing page to go to that. Okay. So now in Evernote, which is my idea system. And I know this may be a little overwhelming for you guys, but I'm just showing you the level of detail and once you have this down, you don't have to do this every time. Like once you have it down, and noted, that's your process. That's the process that you follow each and every time. Okay, so then we're going to Evernote, we're creating the caption, then we're copying and pasting the post-class replay purchase sequence. Okay, so then we're creating rules in ConvertKit, and we're running an IG ad to that post, once we have everything done. Squarespace, we're creating that landing page and the opt-in page to take them out if they don't want to receive replay emails. So Zoom, here in Zoom, we have to schedule the meeting for the correct date and time within the Zoom conference software. Teachable, we're going to determine if the class will go into our, EOM, our masterclass video library, or will it be on sale for them at a discount. ConvertKit, all of these things, Google, Google Form, Bitly, these are the 3 things we need to do this task. So we're going to create a testimonial link to put in the chat in the class to ask them to fill it out. Instagram, we're researching hashtags for our social media posts. So all of this stuff, deadline funnel, we're setting up the deadline funnel for the course sequence within Teachable and our email sequence. So like all of this stuff, it seems like a lot, and it is a lot technically if you're trying to wing it every single time. But what I will do for this particular thing is I will copy this. I'll copy this list. See here? and it copied it right here. Okay. So we're going to call this XYZ masterclass. Okay. And so then we're going to add another list, and we're going to say what is it? I can't even get my thoughts. XYZ masterclass done list. So we're going to add this list, and we're going to move this over to that XYZ so it'll be next to it. Okay. Okay, so XYZ. So we have XYZ masterclass list. These are all of the things that we have to do. Okay, these are all of the topics, all of the stuff that, all of our tasks for that. Okay. Did you guys? Okay, so I'm trying to make sure I'm sharing this with you all. Y'all didn't tell me y'all couldn't see this. Oh Lord. Okay, so so XYZ masterclass. I just copied this list here in Trello. I copied this list of all of my tasks. And remember that you all do not have to redo this. Okay, you all do not have to redo this each and every time. As long as you have it done, okay, there you go. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm sorry that y'all couldn't see the screen. So I'm gonna go run back through there real quick. As long as this is all of my stuff that you have to have determined out. You have to have it written out. But it does take time to go through all of this stuff. But if you're going to have a business that runs on systems that can run without you, then you have to take the time to actually be thoughtful about your systems and write it down so that you're not stuck always doing all the work either. So I could hand this off to somebody and they can actually do it without me having to do it because all of the systems are here. Like every single thing we need to do to make sure that we have the same system roll out is here. So once I have this done, so, okay, let's say we're starting from scratch and we say, Rachel, you need to determine the topic for the class. So I've determined the topic for the class. We're going to talk about XYZ. So I'm moving that over to the done list, saying that this is done for this particular class. And I just copied, I just copied my sequence here. I just copied it and created one just specifically for this class. Now, once I write out my bullet points, once that's done, then I move it over to the done tab, done column. Then once I create my graphic using in Canva, I move that over to the done column. And I keep moving everything over to the done column until it's done. Now, sometimes I may go out of order, just depending. So I may go out of order, but I'm moving, and I won't stop until this whole column is over here into the done column, until everything is completed. I won't stop going until everything is over here. And that's a lot of things to move over here. But like I said, once you have your system in place, once you have it, then, you're just moving these things. See how this list is shrinking? The more that I do everything, move it over here. Now XYZ Masterclass is done. Okay. So that's how I do that. That's how I do my weekly trainings and roll these out each and every week for you all. And like I said, I have every single thing that I have in regards to every single task, every single thing that has to be set up. I have it set up here showing what software I have to use to get it done, as well as who is responsible for actually doing it. And then, like I said, I just copy this master template here, this master template each and every time I have a class, and then we're moving these cards over to the done column to make sure that those things are getting done. So that is actually it. That is what I wanted to share with you all in regards to this. So does anybody have any specific questions about what I just shared? I know there was a lot. I know there was a lot, but like I said, and some of these concepts may be new to you. Some of the concepts may be new to you or foreign to you right now, but that's the thing that, I want to stress to you. It takes sometimes having to revisit it and see it more than once in order to be able to grasp the concepts and pick up the concepts, but they are not impossible to do. It's just about getting you a system, one that you can duplicate. And then, like I said, when you get when you are confident in what you teach and who you teach, and the confident in the fact that you can deliver a result, it helps you to be more confident in regards to what you're teaching and what you are delivering. So at this point, I want to go ahead, as I do after each and every training that I do. I like to pray for those of you that are trying to learn these concepts to help grow your business. So if you have a prayer request or something that you want me to pray specifically for, then you can drop that in the comments. Otherwise, I'll just begin to pray again as the Holy Spirit leads me. Dear God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this opportunity to gather together to learn about things to help grow our businesses and to, number one, ultimately grow the vision and the purpose that you have on our life, God. And we thank you that you are opening up our understanding, God. We thank you that you are giving clarity to those that want clarity, because you would not have us be ignorant, God, but you have sent resources, you have sent training, you've sent inspired ideas to us, and we thank you for that. We thank you for all that you're going to do through our businesses and through the people that we are called to reach and teach and inspire. And God, we thank you that we are not just going to walk away from this class, God, just having obtained more information, but God, I ask that you give them unique and strategic ways to implement this in their lives so that this time that they have spent here will not be in vain. And we thank you for doing it. In your son Jesus' name we pray. Amen.